As far as I know, she had went and picked him up, was supposed to have dropped him off. I guess they got along. She started going out with him. She didn't know what his background was. She didn't know until that Sunday when she had called my home and we had told her, and now I don't know if he's keeping a hold of her or what's going on. I just don't know, but I want to know. I'm just still scared that something's happened. I'm worried to death about him. It's just so hard for me to believe that she would leave her in the truck. I just don't understand it. The video, I'm glad that I seen that she's okay, but that was 14 days ago.
I'm Jean Casares of the Legal Network in session in for Nancy Grace tonight. I want to go back out to Mary Watson. She is the grandmother of precious Haylee Donathan. Ms. Watson, tell us about Haylee. What kind of a little girl is she?
Haylee's very playful, cheerful, very lovable. She was in ballet. She had lots of friends, playmates. Yeah, very good little girl. Nobody could want anybody better than her.
Does she have any health issues or concerns? Because she went, if she is with them, she went a lot of miles in a very short period of time in that truck.
Haylee doesn't have any that I know of right now.
All right. Now, I know you said that your daughter was living with a roommate. Have you gone to that home to see what your daughter took with her for this trip or what she took for Haylee?
I went there, but nobody's allowed in her room right now because of the investigations.
So you're saying that it's cordoned off, so law enforcement will not allow you in?
Nobody's allowed in there right now. Her roommate has told them what she's seen her carry out when she left the last time she had seen her, which was a basket with some blankets in it and some of her clothes in the bottom and then a bag of clothes for Haylee.
Does your daughter, I know your daughter used to live in Arizona, do you think she could want to go to Arizona?
Yes, I do.
Why?
She's been talking about going back to Arizona ever since she's really been here. She likes it there.
Very interesting, very interesting. To Dr. Joshua Perper, Chief Medical Examiner of Broward County, a little girl, 4 years old, in a truck, possibly not much money, just enough money for gas. Could there be an issue of proper nutrition at this point in time?
Well, I think that if she got proper care and she was properly fed, then it wouldn't affect her physical or mental condition. On the other hand, if she was abused, and that's what the concern is, it's a totally different story.
That's right. And let's go to Mark Class, president and founder of the Class Kids Foundation. You know, Mark, we are talking about a Tier 3 sex offender, and I'm sure you are aware the Adam Walsh legislation went into effect in 2008, reclassified sexual offenders, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 being the most serious. This is the most serious sexual offender, Mr. Potter. What are your concerns right now, obviously, that what could be happening?
Well, first of all, this is not a guy that's out on a picnic with the family. This is a very dangerous individual who is non-compliant. He is a sexual predator, a convicted sexual predator. He is on the run from federal and Ohio jurisdictions. He has no money. I think this man is a danger to absolutely anybody that he comes into contact with at this point. I think he's probably getting pretty desperate, and the sooner we find that little girl, the better off everybody will be. And then I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to face the music for putting her in the position that she found herself.
That's right. There are a lot of people involved here. To Susan Lipkin, psychologist, author of Preventing Hazing. So many questions that I could ask you, but one that hits me off the top of my head. Potter is not only a convicted sexual predator, but also he is out on, has been convicted of federal burglary and robbery. There are issues there. Can someone with a violent past keep progressing to even more violent crimes, or just sort of keep doing what they've done in the past?
No, absolutely. I think that once you've gone past one line and you're successful, you keep going and going, and you don't even see the reality, and you don't see how far away you are from what would be normal behavior. And I think that speaks to this little girl's mother too. Apparently her brother was in a similar situation, has been in prison. I think he's a sex offender, and I think maybe she just got used to hanging out with these kind of people and doesn't really see how awful they are, as we may in the audience.
Doesn't see the reality. To Drew DeSerto, once again, thank you for joining us, the Assistant Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal for the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force. Are there any other tips at all that you can release tonight to try to help to find this little girl?
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately, we have received a lot of tips, and we're encouraging more and more, but we don't have any more current information than that sighting on June 2nd. We are offering $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Mr. Potter, and we're accepting tips on our toll-free hotline, 866-4-WANTED. We're really asking the public to reach out. At this point, as I stated, they could be anywhere, and we know someone has seen them. Someone has spotted the truck. That truck stands out. If you see it on the video, you're going to see it and you're going to remember it, and we're asking someone to spot that and give us a call.
Can you describe that truck again? I know we see it, but can you describe what makes it unique?
Absolutely. It's a 1988 Chevy pickup truck. It's black. It's a two-tone, black over like a green or teal. And one of the things that stands out the most about it is it has like a lightning storm design on the back window. And I stated the plate before is ENS 9729. That's an Ohio plate. Another thing that stands out about it is it has orange lights that run across the top of the windshield visor. So it is pretty distinctive. If you see it, you're going to remember this truck. Someone out there has seen it. We're asking them to call.
If Robbie Potter, who is the Tier 3 sexual offender, if he is watching tonight, because I've covered many of these cases and many times they watch the coverage, what do you have to say to him?
You know, the best thing he can do right now is to call us and turn himself in. Obviously, a lot of people are coming to a lot of different conclusions on his situation regarding his past, regarding what's going on with this case. If he calls us and turns himself in, that's the best possible scenario that he could expect. He can shed some light on and give his story as to what he has been doing these last couple weeks. But we encourage him to call, and please call our hotline.
All right, to Paul Henderson, I want to talk the law a little bit because I've been looking up Ohio law. Paul Henderson, San Francisco Deputy District Attorney. When I look at the statute for kidnapping in the state of Ohio, and every state has different wording for kidnapping, it's basically the same thing, but it talks about that no person by force, threat, or deception shall remove another from the place where they are found to facilitate the commission of any felony or flight. This could be a very serious case for a prosecution, couldn't it?
It's already a serious case, but it's exacerbated because they've crossed state lines. So that makes it a federal issue. And then at the core of that, we still have to examine, you know, what's going on with the little girl in terms of the mother, because there are child endangerment laws.
Yes,
and
there
really every parent has a legal duty to take every reasonable step to ensure that their child is safe from physical abuse or harm. So that's always a consideration going on the back of our minds about what's going on with children at this young age, because they don't have a voice. They cannot say for themselves what they need in order to be safe. And we have an expectation and, in fact, a legal standard to ensure that parents meet the law themselves to make sure that they don't get prosecuted. So that's a real concern here in this case.
And that is why this is an international manhunt.
Honestly, I don't know. You know, you figure the people at the VOA, you figure if they would have been making their rounds on a regular basis and checking like they're supposed to, they would have found him right off rip. Instead, they didn't find it till about 6 a.m., somewhere in there, when they start waking people up for breakfast. That's when they find out that there's a dummy in his bed and he's gone.